Don't tell me about me. Stop telling 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 me about me. I don't need you to tell me about me.
All right, folks, we are back up in here again, and we switching up the music tonight, y'all. We're gonna switch it up a little bit. I remember we found this song. My dad liked this song, so we're gonna play this one. I can't hear it though. I can barely hear that. Yeah. All right, the beat didn't drop yet. But either way, though, y'all, welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Let's Talk with Jay vs. Jordan. I am your host, Let's Talk with JVJ. Man, I hope everybody doing all right, man. But on your way in, do your boy a favor, hit that like, subscribe, share, turn them notifications on. Make sure you click all. Yeah, make sure you click all when you click them things, because we're trying to grow around here. Man, go ahead and say salute to Hurricane in the chat. Seen you up in here already. He always on time. He be ready. Salute to Hurricane. I'm gonna drop the link a little bit later in this video because some of y'all might have an opinion about this. But want to talk about something that was very interesting to me, because I had a conversation with a person the other day about it, and I remember having this conversation a lot when I was traveling like overseas when I was in the military. And there's a sentiment in America that these foreign people from other countries don't like us. They don't like us. And a lot of Americans can't fathom it. They don't understand why would even be possible. And then they just try to play it off like they're just hateful people and that's just their culture and all that. Well, a lot of people don't know what America has done to a lot of these other countries. And it's a lot of the ones that a lot of people like to travel internationally to. They don't know what America has done, especially throughout its wars. And we're going to go over a little bit of that tonight, y'all. We're going to go over a little bit of that and let y'all see some of the crazy things that this country has done, man. We're gonna talk about it. And you might you might possibly, if you have a heart and you actually can think up here a little bit, you might understand why somebody might feel a certain type of way. That's kind of like people don't understand why certain black people in America don't deal with white folks. Like the white people just like, oh, why? And it's like, look at the history, baby. But if you don't know the history, we'll do one on that one too. But man, we about to get into it. Shout out to the Paint Explainer channel. The Paint Explainer channel for this one right here. Pretty much every major U.S. war crime in 20 minutes. So we should be able to get through this in 20 minutes, at least the first one, man. Shout out to his channel again, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe. And as usual, get your cigarettes, get your weed, get whatever you need, you know, because we about to go ahead and jump into this one as soon as I can find my cursor. All right, let's go and make this full screen. And then we don't need to have this sped up. Okay, it's back on normal. All right, we good to go, y'all. Let's jump into this first one.
My Lai Massacre. On the 16th of March 1968, in the Vietnamese village called Sun Mai, U.S. soldiers carried out what became the largest massacre of civilians by American forces in the 20th century. Between 347 and 504 unarmed villagers, most of them women, children, and the elderly, were killed. Many women and girls, some as young as 12, were raped before being murdered. Bodies were mutilated, homes were burned, and livestock was slaughtered. Witnesses described women using their bodies to shield children, only for soldiers to fire into them. One ditch alone held more than 70 dead. Then, platoons went hut to hut, killing entire families, bayoneting the wounded, and throwing grenades. Soldiers later testified that their orders had been to destroy everything, leave nothing, and treat anyone still there as the enemy. One soldier intentionally shot himself in the foot to avoid taking part. A few, like Michael Bernhardt, refused to kill and later helped expose what happened. The massacre might have been even worse if not for Warrant Officer Hugh Thompson Jr. and his helicopter crew. Flying low over the village, they saw women and children being slaughtered, and at one point, Thompson landed between U.S. soldiers and terrified civilians, ordering his own gunners to fire on Americans if they kept killing. He personally evacuated survivors by helicopter, saving dozens. At first, the massacre was reported as a great victory, claiming that 128 Viet Cong were killed, and the unit was congratulated. Officers up the chain of command worked to hide the truth, but later on, when veterans like Ronald Ridenhour spoke out and journalist Seymour Hersh investigated, the world learned the real story. When photographs surfaced showing women, children, and babies piled in ditches, what happened could no longer be denied. In the end, 26 soldiers were charged, but only one, Lieutenant Calley, was convicted. He was found guilty of murdering 22 villagers and sentenced to life in prison, but he served 3.5 years under house arrest after President Nixon intervened. Medina, accused of giving the orders, was acquitted. Most others escaped punishment. Survivors, many of them children at the time, carried the trauma for decades. One recalled, "Everyone in my family was killed. They threw me into a ditch full of dead bodies. I was covered with blood and brains." Haditha Massacre.
No. We're going to stop right there. We're going to stop right there. Just think about how atrocious that is. So for any of y'all Americans that want to go over to Vietnam, don't get mad if the Vietnamese people don't like you because, you know, they did that. And then nobody got in trouble, basically. One guy did 3.5 years of house arrest, and Nixon came in and said, "Nah, you good." Like, bro, come on now. Shout out to my girl, Miss Embrace of Grace. I see you up in the building. She said, "Good evening, King. Salute to everyone." And yeah, I'm right there with you, Hurricane. F Nixon, man. But nah, they did that to those people. And people will sit back and wonder why somebody wouldn't like you. And y'all try to cover it up too. That's what be tripping me out when people be like, "Oh, you just hate America." It's like, nah, bro, I went and served in the military, and you kind of find out what not to do. There's a lot of these stories right here because they have people that's been in for a while, and they'll tell you, old folks in the neighborhood, they might tell you about what happened today. They got folks that be like, "Bro, when you go over there, don't do this, don't do this." It kind of plays into that big controversy that the right was having the other day when a few Democratic senators, former service members, told the troops, like, you know, it's your duty to not obey illegal orders. And these folks on the right were just going crazy. They telling them, don't listen to the president. I don't think you want to listen to folks when they telling you to do this. But either way, though, let's keep going. Let's go to the next one. What they got?
On the morning of November 19th, 2005, in the Iraqi town of Haditha,
now think about this. This is in 2025, y'all. 2025.
roadside bomb tore through a U.S. Marine convoy. The explosion killed a Marine instantly and
Yep.
left 2 other Marines badly wounded. Within hours, that turned into one of the darkest chapters of the Iraq War. The Marines shot 5 unarmed men who had been ordered out of their taxi, killing them on the spot. Then, they entered nearby houses. Inside were families with grandparents, parents, and children as young as 1 year old. Nonetheless, 19 civilians were killed in their homes, most shot at close range in the chest or head. By the end of the day, 25 unarmed civilians were dead, with the youngest victim being just 3 years old. The Marine Corps' first official story was false.
3.
They claimed that 15 civilians had been killed by the roadside bomb and that 8 insurgents died in a firefight afterward. However, an Iraqi human rights worker filmed the aftermath: bullet holes in walls, bloodstains on floors, and bodies of women and children with gunshot wounds. A Time magazine reporter then began investigating and found that doctors at the local hospital confirmed that none of the bodies showed bomb injuries, but close-range gunshot wounds. A 9-year-old girl who survived said she saw her grandfather shot first in the chest and then in the head, followed by her grandmother. Investigations stretched on for years, and at first, 8 Marines were charged, but case after case collapsed. Some Marines received immunity in exchange for testimony, while others had their charges dropped. By 2008, nearly all charges were gone, and the only Marine punished was Vuterik. He admitted to negligent dereliction of duty, lost rank and pay, but avoided jail. For many Iraqis, this outcome was unbearable, as families who had lost multiple relatives in one morning saw 6 years of U.S. military prosecution end without a single Marine imprisoned. Survivors called it an assault on humanity. Lawyers for the victims urged international courts to take up the case. Meanwhile, the U.S. military paid $38,000 in compensation to some families. Samar campaign.
You're gonna see a recurring theme throughout all of this, okay? That's messed up right there. All these are messed up. Just go ahead and get ready for it.
Kill everyone over the age of 10. Those were the words of General Jacob H. Smith during the Philippine-American War in what became known as the Pacification of Samar. His order did not apply only to armed enemy fighters, but to everyone, as he wanted to turn the island into, in his own words, a howling wilderness. The situation leading up to this was already tense, as just months earlier, Filipino fighters together with local townspeople had carried out the Balangiga massacre, where in a surprise attack, they killed 54 and wounded 18 U.S. soldiers. That's when the U.S. government sent General Smith to Samar.
Now, I want y'all to understand that soldiers, the Filipino army, and their citizens in their country went and murdered 50 plus American soldiers. First, you need to ask yourself why they there. What are they doing? But that happened. So let's see what the United States did. Well, it was 38. Okay, 38. My bad. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said 50 something. They murdered 38 American soldiers, and we care for all those lives that got lost. Let's see what the United States did in retaliation.
Who made it clear that he wanted no prisoners and asked for everyone capable of bearing arms to be killed. When Marines asked him what exactly capable of bearing arms meant, Smith explained that it meant boys as young as 10 years old. Waller himself, the major leading these Marines, partly resisted these instructions, telling some of his officers not to target women and children. Still, over just 11 days, he reported that his men burned 255 homes and killed 39 people. Civilians saw their towns and food reduced to ashes. The number of deaths will never be fully known, but broader estimates suggest around 2,000 to 2,500 civilians were killed.
2,000 to 2,500 civilians in 11 days. Does that seem proportionate?
The campaign became infamous in the United States once reports reached home, and Smith was put on trial in May 1902, but not for murder or war crimes. Instead, he was found guilty only of conduct to the prejudice of good order and military discipline, a minor charge. His punishment was just a formal reprimand. To calm public anger, he was quietly forced into retirement. Waller himself was also later put on trial for ordering the execution of Filipino porters, but he was acquitted. Nisor Square.
That reoccurring theme, man, ain't nobody taking no accountability for none of this. And you go to these people's countries and you wonder why they don't like you. Because probably their grandma told them the story about when the Americans came here. And y'all gonna see a reoccurring theme of who's the people that are actually giving these orders that are part of this U.S. military. And see, I got a Big Op in the building. He said this is why they did Full Metal Jacket movie to show how effed up the military was and needed to change, because these evil leaders would take this training and heartless-ish into other countries. Yep, you right about that. You are 100% right about that. Let's keep going, because we ain't done.
massacre. This one was different from the others. It happened without warning, and not by the regular US Army, but by a private contractor known as Blackwater, which made it even more controversial. On a normal morning in September 2007,
Oh, man, they love that Blackwater. Blackwater, Lockheed Martin, all these little private, you can go get your private army if you want it. The United States sure pay for it.
a Blackwater convoy drove into Nisaur Square in Baghdad to clear a route for US officials. Moments later, though, out of nowhere, they opened fire on Iraqi civilians. 17 people were killed and 20 more were wounded. Some were shot while still sitting in their cars. For example, witnesses described one small Kia with a mother and her adult son inside. The son was shot in the head, and the car kept moving forward and was riddled with more bullets before a grenade set it on fire. Blackwater claimed the convoy had been ambushed and that the guards fired in self-defense, but the Iraqi government called it an unprovoked attack. The State Department admitted that innocent people had been killed, and Iraq suspended Blackwater's license to operate in its territory and demanded accountability. Several investigations began, and a U.S. military report supported Iraq's version of events, saying Blackwater was at fault. The FBI concluded that at least 14 of the 17 people killed had been shot without justification. Some Blackwater guards themselves told investigators that the shooting was wrong. One guard even kept firing after others shouted for him to stop, until another contractor aimed his weapon at him to force him to stand down. The massacre raised questions about the role of private military contractors, and Iraq demanded punishment for Blackwater and pressed for compensation. In the U.S., the House passed a bill to bring contractors under U.S. criminal law in war zones, though the Senate did not vote on it. Then, the State Department told Blackwater its security contract would not be renewed. And years later, the case reached U.S. courts. In 2014, 4 Blackwater guards were convicted in federal court. One of them was sentenced to life in prison, while the others received 30 years each under firearms laws. There were some appeals, but in the end, the man originally sentenced to life was once again given life in prison, while the other 3 had their sentences reduced to about half of what they were before. Later on, however, there was a final twist. In December 2020, President Donald Trump pardoned.
Looky, who coming to the rescue? Looky at this shit.
There was a final twist. In December 2020, President Donald Trump pardoned all 4 men. The decision triggered outrage in Iraq and harsh criticism from United Nations experts, who said the pardons violated U.S. obligations under international law. Abu Ghraib.
Y'all think he care about that? Y'all think Trump care about violating any of that shit? Motherfucker just broke the law the other day. So pretty much no punishment. Spent a little time in jail for a little bit. He let you out. And you wonder why them people, they'll be sitting over there playing videos of them folks over there while we were in their country saying death to Americans. And they're like, look, they're savages. But they don't tell you what Americans already done did to them. I talked to some of them people when I was over there. They let me know. Because I'm like, look, man, I'm just here doing my job. He's like, well, your people, well, they really pointed at the other folks that was part of my platoons and stuff. They weren't really pointing at the black folks. But it's like they done did some fucked up shit over here, and they'll tell you about it. They'll show you the wounds on their body. They'll tell the kids to come up and show you what the hell done happened to the kids. And these folks just let them get away with it every time.
The photos from Abu Ghraib are widely known around the world for how disturbing they look, but the background is even darker. To the public, Abu Ghraib was a normal detention and interrogation facility, but it wasn't at all.
Have any of y'all ever, because I know a lot of people might not know this actual place, have any of y'all ever watched Zero Dark 30? That's the place they talking about. If you ever watched Zero Dark 30, where that lady had to go over there, and she would, there you go, right now. That's the place.
Inside, there was sexual humiliation to lengths we can't go to for obvious reasons: torture, physical abuse, and rape. There was even the killing of Manadel al-Jamadi, whose body was packed in ice and later photographed with soldiers posing beside it.
Look,
The shock was
look who in the picture. Look, who get joy out of this? Look at this.
ice and later photographed.
All I can say is that motherfucker don't look like me that did that shit. But you know, we're the savage ones, we're the evil ones, we're the ones, you know, all these motherfuckers smiling. You killing prisoners.
Photographed with soldiers posing beside it. The shock was immediate and worldwide, so the Bush administration answered quickly, saying that these were isolated acts by a few rogue soldiers. However, organizations like the Red Cross, Amnesty International, and Human Rights Watch said the opposite, claiming this was part of a larger pattern across U.S. prisons in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Guantanamo. The Red Cross also reported that most Abu Ghraib detainees were civilians with no connection to armed groups. Then, internal documents showed how they were given approval for what were called enhanced interrogation techniques. These documents would be later known as the torture memos, for reasons you can imagine. They argued that the Geneva Conventions didn't apply overseas and didn't classify the detainees as prisoners of war, which allowed them to hold people longer without charges and deny them the rights normally given to prisoners of war. Other orders showed Lieutenant General Ricardo Sanchez authorizing the use of dogs, extreme heat and cold, reversed sleep cycles, and sensory deprivation. Inside the cells, prisoners were stripped naked and forced into humiliating poses, threatened with dogs, beaten, shackled in painful positions, deprived of sleep and warmth, and forced into sexual acts. Taguba recorded one prisoner sodomized with a chemical light. Detainees spoke of acid poured on their skin, being dragged by ropes tied to their genitals, and being mocked. Manadel al-Jamadi, whose death was ruled a homicide, never led to any criminal charges. At the same time, 36 detainees died in insurgent mortar attacks on the prison, which critics said violated the Geneva rule that prisoners should not be kept in active combat zones. In 2006, the Supreme Court ruled that the Geneva Conventions did apply, and 17 soldiers and officers were removed, while 11 were court-martialed. The punishments varied. One guy got 10 years, some 3, and others shorter sentences, or even just reprimands or demotions. External contractors, such as the company CACI Premier Technology, also came under scrutiny. Pretty recently, in 2024, a jury found them liable for conspiring with military police to soften up prisoners through abuse, awarding 3 former detainees $42 million in damages. Jurors concluded that CACI
Now think about this. I ain't even gonna hold you, y'all. What happened in them was bad and it should never happen. Black people ain't got no case. We ain't got no case around here in America, y'all. That's why I be telling you folks be spitting in your face. They be spitting in your face. They did all that crap to them. They gave $2 million, $42 million. Think about the history that we have in this country and what they gave us. More problems.
Interrogators facilitated mistreatment even if they did not personally carry it out. Operation Speedy Express.
Right,
this was one of the most brutal and controversial U.S. campaigns of the Vietnam War. You can get an idea of what really happened when you hear that the Army reported about 11,000 enemy killed, but recovered only 750 weapons from the dead. Operation Speedy Express.
Let's do the math on that. Hold on. Let's do the math on that. 11,000 enemies, but they only recovered. Hold on, man. Where my red cursor at, man? I can't see that shit. Yeah, well, either way, though.
1,000 enemy killed, but recovered only 7.
They slaughtered over 10,000 people. I guess it's just another Tuesday and, being American. Fuck yeah,
150 weapons from the dead. Operation Speedy Express, carried out from December 1968 to May 1969, and run under Major General Julian Ewell, had the official goal of destroying Viet Cong bases, cutting supply lines, and re-establishing U.S. control over a region considered a stronghold of the Viet Cong, the Mekong Delta. On paper, the operation looked like an overwhelming success, considering that just 242 American soldiers died, while the enemy lost 11,000. With a ratio of 45-1, it looked like a decisive victory, but the numbers hid something darker. The fact that only about 750 weapons were recovered means that thousands of those killed were probably unarmed civilians. The Army's own Inspector General later estimated that between 5,000 and 7,000 civilians were killed during the operation. The campaign relied on overwhelming firepower, like helicopter gunships, artillery barrages, and fighter bomber strikes, in a heavily crowded region with civilians. This basically turned entire areas into free fire zones. David Hackworth, a highly decorated battalion commander, admitted openly, a lot of innocent Vietnamese civilians got slaughtered because of the Yule Hunt drive to have the highest body count in the land.
And I bet his face was probably like that when he gave the order to go do it. That's why they made that video for folks nowadays. You can understand. I hope some service members are watching this. Some active service members are watching this. Like, that's why them people on the Democrat side gave y'all that video to say, look, don't obey no illegal order. That right there that he told them to do, that they went and did, that was illegal like a motherfucker. But, it's kind of like, like when the police do something, police do something to somebody and they be like, yeah, we got an independent agency, no matter of fact, we'll just let the sheriff's office, the police, the local city police did it. We're going to let the sheriffs that also patrol around here investigate them. And that's what America keep doing. They keep investigating themselves. And what happens? I think the most we've seen right now is one person got 10 years. That actually served 10 years. But, he probably going to get pardoned by the end of this presidency right now. Yeah, that's probably a hurricane. That's probably exactly what he looked like when he gave the order. Yeah. I need all the bodies. Oh, Joker face looking on.
Survivors and witnesses described whole villages wiped out, with civilians getting shot from the air as they tried to run. A Viet Cong commander later explained, "Most of the people killed were civilians, because civilians would run. We soldiers held our positions." Reports of atrocities began to surface in 1969, but they were overshadowed by the My Lai massacre, which we've just talked about. In 1972, Newsweek published an investigation by Kevin Buckley and Alexander Shimkin called Pacification's Deadly Price. They had interviewed villagers and studied hospital records. In one provincial hospital, they found that 3/4 of the civilian wounds treated came from U.S. firepower, not Viet Cong attacks. Their conclusion was that thousands of civilians had been killed during Speedy Express. No Gun Ri Massacre.
Okay.
In the summer of 1950, during the Korean War, one of its darkest tragedies took place at a railway bridge.
Look, don't go to Korea and get mad when them people in Seoul don't like you. Don't get mad at that. Look, we already uncovered. Well, we had Korea now. We got the Philippines. We already did Taiwan. We did that other place that I don't think it was in it might have been a part of Asia. I can't remember. We uncovered a lot of places in Asia. I know that for sure.
Near the village of No Gun Ri. U.S. commanders were afraid that North Korean soldiers were disguising themselves as civilians, so they ordered refugee movements to be blocked. Declassified documents later showed that some commands actually went even further, authorizing troops to fire on groups of civilians who approached. Then, disaster struck. As waves of refugees fled south from the advancing North Korean army, they reached U.S. lines. There, they were stopped, searched, and grouped near the railway tracks by No Gun Ri. American planes then shot at them. Survivors say ground troops soon opened fire too, driving them into the culverts and pinning them down in the bridge underpasses. Hundreds of South Korean refugees, mostly women, children, and the elderly, were caught under fire, and for 3 days, families screamed as they piled bodies on top of one another for cover, drank from a stream turned red with blood, and watched children die beside them. The death toll has long been debated, with survivors speaking of about 400 people killed, and U.S. veterans giving numbers ranging from dozens to several hundred. A South Korean government inquiry was able to confirm 163 people dead or missing by name, along with 55 wounded, and concluded that the real toll was likely much higher, around 250 to 300. Nearly half of the confirmed victims were children. For decades, the story was silenced, as survivors lived in fear under South Korea.
Half were kids, y'all. Like, think about how sick you got to be in the head to first make that call, and then to be the motherfucker that gets that order and actually goes out and do it. But I know how they get it through people's minds. They brainwash these folks. It's the same thing that's going on right now, y'all. They always say if you don't know your past, you're doomed to repeat it. They probably demonized them, told them they were animals, savages. They doing all this terrible stuff to justify doing fucked up shit to them. They probably brainwashed them like that. Because, dude, when I joined during the height of 9/11. I mean, not 9/11, but the war in Afghanistan and Iraq. When I went over there, I had a mindset that these people were a certain type of way until I met them. I'm like, oh, that shit was some bullshit. The same thing they do to us in this country. Oh, they're so bad. There are all these criminals and all this. Man, majority of black people ain't in no prison. Not even 40% of black people in prison. But they tell you all us criminals when we commit crime. It's the brainwashing. And people are susceptible to it until they got to get outside that bubble to actually see the truth. Or just have a smart mind and listen. Shit, use your day-to-day life as a representation of it. But, let them keep going, man. That's fucked up right there. Line them up. These people running from the North Korean army, trying to get help with the U.S. army. Like, y'all already over here fighting these folks, and now we in the middle of this shit. We in the middle of it. We trying to get away. Get them all together, search them real quick, line them up over there. Hey, Jerry, get the plane going. Yeah, get the plane going. Make sure you got some bullets ready. Shoot at them. That's some sick-ass shit, bro. That's some sick-ass shit.
Korea's authoritarian governments. It was not until 1999 that the Associated Press exposed the story worldwide, interviewing survivors and U.S. veterans. The reporting won a Pulitzer Prize and forced both the U.S. and South Korean governments to investigate. The U.S. Army's 2001 report admitted that civilians had been killed by American air and ground fire, but claimed there had been no orders to deliberately massacre them. It described the killings as a tragic accident of war. President Bill Clinton expressed deep regret and admitted things happened which were wrong. Instead of compensation, the U.S. funded a memorial and scholarships, which survivors rejected. South Korean investigators, however, concluded that there had almost certainly been orders to fire, pointing to missing records, consistent testimony, and orders from the time to treat refugees as enemy agents. Later, more declassified documents strengthened the case. One was a letter dated July 26, 1950, from the U.S. ambassador in Seoul, reporting that the U.S. military had adopted a policy of shooting refugee groups approaching its lines. This and other incriminating records had been deliberately left out of the Army's official report. No Gunri also set off wider investigations in South Korea, uncovering more than 200 other cases of alleged U.S. killings of civilians in the early years of the war, including refugee bombings and mass executions. Sand Creek Massacre. On November 29, 1864, troops under...
Coming to America now. Coming to America. I'm going to tell you one that ain't going to make the list. Just take a while guess which one that is.
More than 200 other cases of alleged U.S. killings of civilians in the early years of the war, including refugee bombings and mass executions. Sand Creek Massacre. On November 29, 1864, troops under Colonel John Chivington rode toward a Native American camp of the Cheyenne and Arapaho people. Chief Black Kettle had moved his people there after being told it was safe, and he raised a U.S. flag with a white flag underneath it to show peace. Many of the warriors were away, and most of the people in camp were too old or too young to fight. Despite this, Chivington's soldiers attacked. Witnesses later described women and children being shot at close range, people cut apart with knives, babies killed, and bodies mutilated for trophies. One account told of a child wandering in the sand, while soldiers took turns trying to shoot him. Another described fingers and ears cut off for jewelry, and the body of Chief White Antelope butchered. By the time the killing ended, most of the dead were women and children. Chivington claimed that 500...
But remember, the Native Americans were savages. They were the savage ones. Okay.
The 600 warriors were killed, boasting about the number, but other sources said the real number was closer to 150, with about 2/3 women and children. The soldiers suffered far fewer losses. Before leaving, they looted the lodges and returned to kill some of the wounded. The reason why this massacre happened in the first place is even sadder. In the 1851 Fort Laramie Treaty, the U.S. recognized a large Cheyenne and Arapaho homeland. But after the Colorado Gold Rush and new migration, they asked the natives for more land than was agreed, and a small group of chiefs signed the Fort Wise Treaty, ceding most of the land to appease the U.S. Many Cheyenne, though, rejected it as invalid, and tensions rose. The governor told friendly Indians to gather near forts in order to stay safe, and Colonel Chivington himself, while he declared openly that he had come to kill Indians, told those seeking peace to come under military protection at Fort Lyon. That's exactly what Black Kettle did, following his instructions, but his people were pushed out. He still believed the U.S. and white flags would protect them, but the massacre happened. In Colorado and Washington, the story was first reported as a victory, but the truth quickly surfaced. 3 investigations followed, including a congressional inquiry that called it a foul and dastardly massacre. Officers and scouts testified about the killings and mutilations. Captain Soule, who had refused to fire, gave evidence and was murdered shortly after in Denver. Despite the findings, no one was
I wonder how that happened.
court-martialed. Chivington had already resigned, and while his career ended in disgrace, he avoided legal punishment. A later treaty at the Little Arkansas promised survivors land access and reparations, but those promises were soon broken and replaced with much smaller reservations. Philippines...
It's just think about how evil do you gotta be? And these people, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. I talk to my Caucasian brothers and sisters in America about how America is a little fucked up and you need to learn the history of it. They don't know these things. And the messed up part about it, they don't care to know these things. They don't want to hear about that shit. We worked hard, we fought, we're strong people, we're resilient, we did everything the right way, and that's why we have America. That's all they want to rock with. It's like, bruh, no, everything was stolen. You killed, what do you say, the devil gonna come to kill, steal, and destroy? Y'all put 2 and 2 together. I ain't say it.
Concentration camps. During the Philippine-American War, concentration camps were used in Batangas, and one American officer described them as some suburb of hell. You'll soon understand why. Back then, General James Franklin Bell took command of U.S. forces in that area, and his goal was to starve the rebels and
I
cut
agree.
them
I'm just
off from
being
any
nice.
support. However, since there were many civilians there, they decided to put them into heavily guarded camps, as their homes, fields, and animals were destroyed. All civilians were required to carry identification papers, and anyone found outside the camps without them could be shot on the spot. Bell himself said neutrality should not be tolerated, which meant that everyone was either an enemy or a friend, and anyone accused of helping the rebels risked execution. Conditions inside the camps were catastrophic. People were packed together in crowded spaces with poor sanitation, which made diseases spread quickly. Cholera, smallpox, beriberi, and even bubonic plague killed thousands. Food was also scarce, and some soldiers described groups of men being forced to dig their own graves before being executed, with the excuse that keeping them alive would take food away from U.S. troops. Torture was also performed, such as waterboarding. The death toll was incredible. Between January and April 1902, 8,350 people died in the camps. In some camps, as many as 1 out of every 5 prisoners died. To calm public anger in the United States, the Army's top public relations officer tried to defend the camps. He claimed they were meant to protect friendly natives, feed them, and teach them better hygiene. However, this claim collapsed when reports from inside the camp surfaced, with letters from soldiers and witnesses. Wounded Knee Massacre.
And that's what I'm saying, man. Look, they will lie right to your face about things. Like right now, we're shooting these people off the coast of Venezuela right now, y'all, because they're smuggling drugs to the United States. But the funny thing about the times that we live in right now, we have technology. We have computers in our pockets, and we can actually look up. You can actually research and find out, okay, do they have drugs come out of their country? Yeah, they do. Where do their drugs normally go? Europe. Not America. They end up in Europe. What's the big thing they've been complaining about for the last couple of years because it started hurting their community? Fentanyl. Fentanyl. Y'all think fentanyl come out of Venezuela? Or does it come from China to Mexico and then into the United States? And most of the people bringing it to the United States are Americans. I'm just the same lies, bro. The same lies. But we got Kane up in the building. What it do, sir, man? What's the word, man?
Chilling. You already know what it is. Shouts out to JVJ Network. Shouts out to everybody in the chat. You know what I'm saying? And just Hurricane JW2 on YouTube and Facebook, home of the HHN Special Report, Detroit After Dark, and a Fuck the Government podcast. Shouts out to everybody. That's right.
Man, look, we gonna play this last one, and I'm gonna get your thoughts on some of this because this right here is just it's something.
Massacre. Before sunrise at Wounded Knee Creek, cavalry surrounded the Native American band of Lakota and began collecting their guns. Tension grew as soldiers searched the people, and a deaf Lakota man named Black Coyote held onto his rifle, and during a struggle, it went off. In that instant, soldiers opened fire on the entire camp, even though most Lakota men had already been disarmed. The Army's Hotchkiss guns fired into the tents where women and children were hiding. In less than an hour, more than 250 Lakota were killed or fatally wounded. 25 U.S. soldiers were also killed. Survivors tried to flee, but they were chased and shot, and some soldiers finished off the wounded where they lay. A blizzard followed the massacre, and 3 days later, civilians gathered the frozen bodies and placed them in a mass grave. 4 infants were found alive, still wrapped in their mother's shawls. The Army removed Colonel Forsyth, who had led the operation, but later reinstated him. An inquiry criticized his tactics, but did not blame him. 19 Medals of Honor were then awarded for Wounded Knee. Native leaders and many others have condemned those awards for decades.
These motherfuckers did this fucked up shit, then gave themselves. Dude, that's the highest honor that you can get in the military in America.
Damn.
Fired him, reinstated him, and then did what again?
An inquiry criticized his tactics, but did not blame him. 19 Medals of Honor.
19. They gave away 19. I bet it was 19 to the people that did the most killing.
Yeah.
I bet they the ones who got it. Oh, you brought me some skills back. Okay, yeah, man. We gonna put in I'm gonna write you up to try to get you the Medal of Honor. This is crazy, bro.
Were then awarded for Wounded Knee. Native leaders and many others have condemned those awards for decades, but most recently, in 2025, the Defense Secretary announced the medals would not be revoked. If you
You
The
don't
4chan
you don't fucking say. So Trump again, right? Trump again. That's his department. We're not revoking those awards that we gave to those men that slaughtered your people. Why would we do that? Why would we do that?
Right.
They were savages. That's what they're gonna say. They were savages. It's amazing. These people are in government. They know what the hell happened. They have all the documentation, and they still run with this. They still run with it, man. But give me your thoughts on some of that crap right there, because I know there's a lot of Americans that don't know nothing about that, and they travel abroad, and they just can't understand. They can't understand why people from other countries don't like them. Like, give me your thoughts.
Man, that shit is some history for your ass, Paul. It's like shit, you know. I watched that channel too. I watched it for like all the you like when he come on the secret societies and all the other shit. Cause he got like a long list of shit they be
Yeah, he
going
got a
through.
lot.
Yeah, but like when it comes to all the massacres and the atrocities, man, this country needs to be under a military tribunal for crimes against humanity, man. Like Jesus,
That's
the
the only
body
thing-
count.
Dude,
It's like Old Testament level body count. It's just like Jesus.
and it's crazy that they didn't even throw in the atomic bomb in there. Like, there's a lot of other ones that he didn't cover. Those just the ones that he did cover. Yeah, the dropping of the atomic bomb twice, bro, that's a war crime right there. You know how many people? They don't know how long it took for that country for Japan to actually even recover just a little
Right.
bit from that shit.
40 something years, because they came back and they boomed out with anime. They had a nice little motherfucking entertainment shit. You know, they came back with that, and you know, they took over the 80s and they flooded their shit over here in the 90s, and we became fans ever since.
Bro,
But
this is some
Yep.
man. Look, and I'm about to make it even sicker, bro. I'm gonna make it even sicker, just so y'all see
oh shit.
exactly what I'm talking about, y'all. It's about to
Was
get
about to
even
show the
sicker.
American Holocaust. You about to show the American Holocaust or the Trail of Tears? What you
and
want?
Jose
Oh no. We gotta. I'm just gonna stick with American military and the things they do, and pretty much I'm gonna stick to that group of people that, you know, keep telling everybody else in the rest of the world how bad they are and the things that they do is wrong. But you know, they don't want to talk about their history. Well, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about how they experimented on people, man.
What?
This is-
Wait. Oh, so the Tuskegee experiment?
It's a part of it. Because
Oh,
a lot of
shit.
people don't know. A lot of people don't know nothing about it, man. Here you go. We about to jump into this. Shout out to Venna. I see you in the building. Venna Black said, "What's up to you and me?" That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, man,
Much love, my son.
we gonna talk about it, man. And I want y'all to see who the people doing this shit. Just pay attention.
San Jose Project. The San Jose Project was conducted by the U.S. military and involved the testing of various chemical and biological agents on human beings. The project was rooted in the Cold War context, where the U.S. was focused on developing and evaluating chemical and biological weapons. San Jose Island was selected as a remote site for these experiments to keep them away from public scrutiny. The chemical agents tested included nerve agents like VX and sarin, blister agents such as mustard gas and lewisite, and certain biological agents. Military personnel and, in some cases, local civilians participated in the tests, often without being aware of their involvement. Many soldiers were led to believe the experiments were part of training or safety procedures, and some felt forced to participate. Participants were often chosen based on their race, since the military thought that people with darker skin might be more protected from the harmful effects of the chemical agents. Participants in the San Jose Project were exposed to
That ain't what they thought.
Yeah, no,
That
they
ain't
lie
what
like a
they thought.
motherfucker.
That
That's
ain't
what they thought.
That's what they told you they thought. That ain't what they thought. That was pretty much what they was acting on was this right here.
Don't let the liberal media tell you how to think and feel. If you have hate in your heart, let it out.
That was them letting that hate out. That was them letting that hate out right there. That's what that was.
chemical
Yup.
agents in many different ways. They breathed in the gases, had them touch their skin, and in some cases, even swallowed them. When these agents touched the
Damn.
skin, they could cause blisters right away. For those who inhaled the gases, serious breathing problems developed, like coughing, wheezing, and long-term damage to their lungs. Many people also suffered from painful skin injuries, such as burns and rashes. There were also mental effects, with some individuals experiencing memory loss, trouble focusing, and increased anxiety. One of the biggest problems with the San Jose Project was that the participants didn't give informed consent. Many of them didn't understand the risks of being part of the experiments. After the tests, the US government often tried to hide the results and the health issues that the participants had. Those who got sick from the experiments didn't initially get any help or money for their health problems because the project was kept secret. The Tuskegee Project. Commonly known as the Tuskegee Study of Untreated Syphilis, this
Hey, well, actually, that one count for us too because we was a part of that. You know, they said they think the darker people might have a better resistance to this shit. So listen, there's a lot of black people up in there, a lot of blacks and Hispanics. But here you go, Tuskegee, man. This other service members, black service members.
Called it.
Look what
Tuskegee experiment. I called it.
look what they did to them.
study aimed to see how untreated syphilis affected African American men, since the researchers thought black men were less likely to seek treatment or understand the dangers of syphilis. About 600 men were involved, with around 399 having syphilis and 201 not, and they were told they were being treated for bad blood, which was a term for various illnesses, believing they were receiving free healthcare. In reality, the researchers did not provide proper treatment for syphilis because they wanted to observe how the disease progressed without intervention. The study caused severe health issues for many participants, including complications from untreated syphilis, such as heart problems, brain damage, and other serious illnesses. Some men suffered for years before they passed away from these complications, and many families were affected by the long-term consequences. Even after penicillin became available in the 1940s as an effective treatment for syphilis, the researchers withheld it from the men in order to keep their research going. The death toll from the study was significant, with 100 participants dying from syphilis or its complications by the time the study ended in 1972. Additionally, 40 spouses of the infected men contracted syphilis, and 19 children were born with congenital syphilis as a direct result of the study's unethical practices. The unethical practices of the study only came to light in 1972, when a whistleblower exposed it to the public, causing national outrage and the immediate termination of the study. United Kingdom's Death Island.
Oh, did you hear about anybody going to jail for that though?
Hell no.
Hmm.
UK Death Island. What?
Oh yeah. Oh, look. They're gonna hit a lot of they people shit that they don't know. They don't know what they done did. We're gonna show you, man. Yeah, this is some sick ass shit right here. But with the Tuskegee thing is you lying to them, telling them they got bad blood.
Right, what the fuck does bad blood mean? Like, what the fuck? I'm a demon or something? You got bad blood because you're black. Like, what?
Yeah, I guess so. Look, they indoctrinated into a lot of these coons that run around here right now. All them years of slavery, people brainwashed, people psyched out. They believe anything the white master tell them. So you say they got bad blood. You acting like you treating them for bad blood, even though they perfectly fine. You give them this disease. You know they gonna go home and have sex with their wife.
Yeah.
So now their wives are getting infected. And then they having kids. And the kids are born with the shit. And y'all, like, we're not even going to talk about it. We're going to hide it. And, we're going to lie about it, too, once it comes out. Like, bro, that's some sick-ass shit, man. But everybody else is the problem, right? Everybody else is the evil ones, right? The people over there saying death to America, they the evil ones, right? They just saying some shit. Y'all actually out here doing some shit. Y'all out here doing a lot. Doing a goddamn lot. But let's find out about the Death Island. What's up with the Death Island
experiment? Also known as the British Biological Warfare Tests, its goal was to explore how germs could be used in warfare and British special military operations.
You don't say.
The British government conducted these experiments on remote islands, particularly Gruinard Island and St. Kilda, and one of the most significant tests involved anthrax, an extremely deadly bacteria. This series of tests was
conducted pause that real quick. Hey, yo. Remember the motherfucker Chappelle show? He was like, "Is anthrax bad?"
Yeah.
He was in the motherfucking bell room.
Oh, anthrax bad. Motherfucker face full of powder. Just sniffing it all in it, teeth and everything. I'm like, bro, this is crazy, man. This is some sick stuff, man, and people need to know their history, man. Because if you don't know, you didn't repeat it.
They thought
It's
they was
crazy.
slick with it because they doing it on an island. It was like, yeah, nigga, anybody
Mhm.
go see us? Y'all niggas think y'all slick.
And look, and if everything was on the up and up, why you hiding it? That's all I'm
Exactly.
saying. That's what I be saying about this Epstein stuff. I'm like, look, if everything's on the up and up, why you hiding it? I'm trying to do his hands right now. I'm trying to do his little hand thing. Why you hiding it? But you know, dummies gonna be dummies and keep following. And look, it might be genetic. I don't know. Let's just keep going because they ain't done.
An ultimately unused plan that called for the dispersal of linseed cakes spiked with anthrax across the German countryside, aiming to infect German livestock and thereby cripple food supplies. In 1942, the government began by releasing doses of anthrax spores on Grunard Island to see how they spread and affected living beings. This release caused severe contamination, making the island uninhabitable for both people and animals for many years. Military personnel were manipulated into participating in these tests, believing they were part of regular training exercises. After being experimented on, most soldiers later reported serious health issues, including breathing problems and serious skin infections. The British government also tested other germs like brucellosis and tularemia to examine how they affected animals and humans. Nazi twin experiments. During World War II, the Nazis conducted experiments on twins in concentration camps, especially at Auschwitz. Dr. Josef Mengele, a German doctor known as the Angel of Death, led these experiments. He was fascinated by twins and believed studying them could reveal important information about heredity and genetics. Mengele's experiments were often brutal and deadly.
You gotta have a dog-ass ego to have that name.
Amputating limbs.
Dude, for real. And look, you got to be one sick individual to be doing any of this shit that we're hearing here, y'all. Like hell is hot for them motherfuckers. They are. I ain't got to tell them. They already down there. They know. If it's there, they down there. If that's a possible destination, that's where they at. Because this is some sick ass shit.
And removing organs. For example, he injected one twin with a disease, keeping the other twin healthy to compare their reactions. Some twins had their limbs broken to see how their bodies healed. Mengele also tested how much pain a person could endure and tried to make artificial Siamese twins by sewing them together without anesthesia. In addition to surgeries, Mengele conducted painful experiments on the eyes of twins. He injected dye into their eyes to try to change their color, which often led to permanent damage or blindness. Mengele also measured and photographed the twins to study their physical features, as he was interested in ideas of racial purity. Approximately 1,500 sets.
That eugenics shit.
Jesus. This nigga was the first human centipede guy. Talk about motherfucking sewing people together and shit. Get the fuck
out of here. Look, he might not even be the first. Because guess what? This is just number 3 on the list. We got a few more to go. It might be it might be somebody on here that predate his ass. We gonna see. Because I know the Romans used to do some sick ass shit.
Of twins were involved in Mengele's experiments at Auschwitz. Of those, only about 200 survived the war. Many twins were separated from their parents when they arrived at the camp, and families were often torn apart. After the war, many survivors dealt with long-lasting psychological and physical health problems due to the trauma they experienced. Unit 731. During World War II, Japan conducted human experiments through a secret unit known as Unit 731. This unit operated from 1937 to 1945 in occupied China and was led by General Shiro Ishii, focusing on biological and chemical warfare research, and carried out experiments on thousands of people, including Chinese civilians, prisoners of war, and children, infecting them with diseases like anthrax, plague, and cholera to study their effects on the human body. For instance, researchers infected individuals with plague bacteria to observe how the disease progressed and to document its symptoms, as well as performing vivisections on live subjects without anesthesia to examine their organs, blood, and bodily functions in real time. Victims were also subjected to extreme temperatures, with some frozen to assess the effects of cold exposure and others exposed to high temperatures to observe heat-related illnesses. Experiments were conducted using various weapons, where subjects were shot or subjected to explosives to study the impact on human anatomy. Some subjects even underwent starvation and dehydration to examine the effects of these conditions on health. Moreover, some people were deliberately infected with diseases like syphilis and gonorrhea to study the effects and progression of these infections without treatment. In one particular...
I know who they got something in common with. Damn, bro. Let me blow your arm off to see how your body deal with it.
Right, like, what? Y'all niggas sick.
This some sick ass shit.
They gave me an order, dog. They gave me an order. They gave me an order, dog.
Yeah, that's hey, look. I'm just following orders, bro.
I'm like, nigga, discharge me.
Bro,
Just try-
you can throw me in prison because I know that's gonna be the first thing they do. They're gonna try to lie and say you just disobeyed the order, but them like when it come down to it, what the order was, I go do some time in the
Last
building.
nigga got shot in the snow. He was like, yo, man, I ain't doing that shit. Bye.
It's like for real. This shit right here, man. And they said the one guy in the first video, he shot himself in the foot. He
Yo, I
intentionally
ain't
shot
doing
himself in the foot. Like I ain't doing it, bro.
Nigga turned to
I'm
Lil
shot.
Wayne.
Bro, motherfucker done
Nigga
shot
turned to
me
Lil
in my
Wayne
foot.
real quick.
Like for real, bro. This shit crazy, man. I'm gonna let go ahead. Hiroshima, whatever your name is.
set of experiments, subjects had their organs removed and were then kept alive to observe the consequences of such surgeries. Additionally, many were subjected to exposure to extreme pressure, simulating conditions found at high altitudes, which caused their bodies to suffer severe physical trauma. The number of deaths resulting from these experiments is believed to be in the tens of thousands, as
I can
many
believe
victims
it.
were killed after the experiments to eliminate any witnesses. Approximately 3,000 people were directly involved in the experiments, but the total number of victims may have been much higher. After the war, some members of Unit 731 received immunity from prosecution in exchange for providing their research data to the Allied powers. Human vivisection
So the United States and everybody else had a chance to actually hold these people accountable for their shit, but you did. What is that?
in exchange for providing their research data to the Allied powers.
What?
I know 3 flags over there. I don't know that 4th one, but I know I see America, I see Britain, and I see China. I don't know who that is. Is that France or something? Did France shit used to look like that before or something?
I gotta go back to my
is.
chess motherfucking app. I gotta go back to my chess app and find out that country again because I'm going against everybody around the world and shit. I think it might be
I don't
France.
know who that is.
Sure.
Because I know France is red, white, and blue, but I don't ever remember them having like no 2-tier cross on their shit. But you know, it could be an Asian country. Ain't no telling. But I see America. They got a thing with people that like to do weird experiments on folks. They like to bring them. You know, we'll give you immunity. Give me all your data though. We ain't gonna harm you. We ain't gonna do nothing to you for you murking all these people. Because you know, even though we're the righteous people of the world, you know, we supposed to be the world police and shit. Yeah, that actually is Canada. That might be actually old Canada. It could be. I don't know. It could be. Ain't no telling, man. But yeah, that's kind of fucked up that y'all didn't punish these people for what they did. But I guess look, you wouldn't want them to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And we know that they've been doing shit to other folks too. So they ain't finna do nothing to you for that. Just give your data because we're gonna use it later. That's kind of fucked up. That's kind of fucked up. Let's keep going, man. I think we got 3 more on this list.
Human vivisections in ancient Greece.
Oh, I knew it. I knew he was gonna get out here. I knew he was gonna get over here. We gotta get the ancient time. Let's see what these ancient folks did.
Ancient Greece saw the practice of human vivisection, which involved performing surgeries and dissections on live subjects, primarily for medical research and education. This practice was notably advanced by figures like Herophilus of Chalcedon and Erasistratus, who conducted their work under the auspices of the expanding field of medicine. Herophilus is often regarded as the father of anatomy. He conducted vivisections on condemned criminals, providing a rare opportunity to study the human body in real time. During these procedures, he would dissect the body while the subject was still alive, allowing him to observe the functions of various organs. For instance, he is said to have examined the nervous system by cutting into nerves and watching the resulting muscle contractions. He also conducted experiments on the brain, removing it from the skull of a living person to study its structure and connections. Erasistratus, a contemporary of Herophilus, also engaged in vivisection to deepen his understanding of human anatomy.
Took somebody's brain out their head while they were still alive. Think about how crazy that is. They were still alive. So you saw
oh my God.
you
I can't
saw
think
their
about
head
that.
off. This person was alive, y'all. He sawed their head off and took their brain out. They were still alive after he sawed their head off. Yeah,
How's that managed to? How's that possible without the motherfucker dying of sheer shock?
You would think. They probably made him drink a lot of wine. I don't know. Man. I don't know what they had back in the day, bro.
I don't think these people was human, dog. I mean, these motherfuckers was made out of clay. Looking like how they motherfuckers said they was made out of clay or something. These motherfuckers could have been motherfucking going through this shit.
Bro, this is some
I understand like getting cut open and the guts all bleeding and shit, but the brain shit, I don't know.
That
I don't know.
this some next level. This some next level stuff, and that's why I laugh when I see certain people come around and try to condemn what somebody did. Y'all shoot each other, bitch. Y'all cut people's heads off while they alive and take their brain out.
And sew people together on some human centipede shit,
Yeah,
making chimeras and dragon ants and shit.
Like what we? It's levels to this shit, man. It's levels. Damn, I'm letting them keep going, but damn, bro, that's
Anatomy. He performed extensive studies on the heart and the vascular system, where he would open the chest cavity of live subjects to observe the beating heart and the flow of blood. During these experiments, he often severed veins and arteries to direct.
Picture somebody opening your chest with a knife and you alive.
Right.
I know people that
I know, right?
I know people that can't take getting a shot at the doctor's office. That little needle going into your arm, giving you a shot. This man was cutting people's chests open.
While you alive. God damn.
He was perfect. In the name of science, man, I think you just had a little, okay, whatever. Cutting arteries and stuff, okay.
Observe blood flow, leading to significant blood loss and trauma from the subjects. Erasistratus aimed to determine the role of blood in the body, and his methods often resulted in gruesome scenes of suffering as the subjects writhed in pain during these invasive procedures.
I bet they did.
The Kamera was a secret laboratory established by the Soviet Union during the 1920s, whose main goal was to develop an
Okay, that was the Soviet, so that wasn't China. I'm sorry, China. Soviets.
Oh, that's Soviet Union.
Yeah, that's a Soviet
Holy
Union.
shit.
That wasn't China, y'all. I don't know my maps. I mean, I don't know my flags. Honestly, I don't really give a fuck about knowing nobody flag. But either way, though, okay, Soviet Unions, what y'all did?
Traceable poison that could kill enemies without being detected in autopsies. To achieve said goal, researchers at Kamera focused on various types of poisons, including ricin.
Oh, and look at that name. You said they were trying to make
I thought they was about to talk about the animal that's mixed with the other animal, but like they named they shit like after the mixed breeding animal, I guess.
I'm about to say, I know that ain't how you spell it, but they spell shit differently than how we spell it in America. So that might be how you spell chimera. But I just saw a little similarity to it. Maybe that's where it came from. But either way, I'm gonna go back a little bit. Let's go. They studying nerve gas. That's what I'm thinking they're getting at right now.
Focused on various types of poisons, including ricin, strychnine, and botulinum toxin. Many of the victims were political prisoners, dissidents, or other people who were seen as threats to the regime. Researchers would begin by injecting victims with ricin, which would cause severe stomach pain, vomiting, and very often the death of the victim. In addition to injections, the researchers also tested poisons mixed with food or drink, which allowed them to figure out if they could kill without raising suspicion. In one specific case, a person was infected with botulinum toxin, which caused paralysis and made it impossible to breathe. As the victim was struggling and fighting for their life, the researchers simply observed closely, taking notes of their findings with no intent of helping the victim. Kamera scientists.
That is some sick ass shit, bro.
Just watching them die in front of them, like that's some grimy shit, son. Like, this nigga's evil, man.
That's evil right there. That's the only word used for that. That's just straight up evil, bro.
Also tested combinations of different poisons, such as strychnine and morphine, leading to convulsions and agonizing muscle spasms. Victims could experience violent reactions, with seizures lasting up to 15 minutes before succumbing to a fatal dose. Moreover, some subjects were placed in complete isolation, enduring extreme conditions in order to determine how fear and stress would boost the effectiveness of poisons. The laboratory kept detailed records of the experiments, noting that over 90%.
Man, look, that sounds like some stuff that they do. Like, that's kind of like similar to what they do on Hunter x Hunter. I don't know if any of y'all ever watch Hunter x Hunter, but like everybody has a power. They figure out they train their own powers up. But
that's right.
They can make their power even stronger if they tell you exactly how their power works. They wanted to see how much stress and high blood pressure, whatever the hell was it gonna speed up the drug? So I'm like, so when you were telling them that you was about to kill him, you telling them we just gave you this drug, man, you about to die, just to see him freak out and see if it killed him faster. Tell him you giving him a drug after we restrain him. Don't tell that motherfucker. Let's see who die first.
Man, that shit wild. These experiments are wild.
Dude, these some sick ass people.
Of the subjects did not survive the tests. The Aversion Project. The Aversion Project was a secret program that aimed to convert homosexual individuals to heterosexuality.
go.
The South African government believed homosexuality was a mental illness, leading them to implement extreme
And don't nobody get South Africa mixed up with the black folks, because the black folks ain't ran South Africa during this time. So don't try to do that. That wasn't on the black people right there. That was them Afrikaners, the descendants of the people that Trump just let into the country. Them folks that they saying he let they descendants over here. These people. Yeah, these people, not the black folk.
measures to change the victim's sexuality. One of the most disturbing methods was electric shock therapy. In this procedure, victims were shown images of men while being administered painful electric shocks. Some reports indicate that victims experienced over 150 shocks during a single session, leading to severe burns on their skin. Another horrific method was chemical aversion therapy, which used the drug apomorphine.
Man, they had them folks in there yelling like that black dude at that church. I'm not gay no more. I like women. Damn, bro. They got these people sick, bro. They some sick ass motherfuckers, bro. 150 shocks in one
They could
session.
have just get a nigga a prostitute, and a nigga probably could have been cool.
Like, damn, man. And why you care about that? Why is that your problem?
Because we need soldiers. We don't want no fairies. We need soldiers. About to draft a nigga one day.
All right, man. Well, look, we got the revolutionary in the building. What it do?
What's up, man?
I gotta get
What's
your
good?
thoughts on this shit right here, man, because this is a little sick.
Yeah, and I mean, and remember, I don't know if y'all are familiar with Dan Calloway, but it's like if I'm a big fan of like. Now, I think maybe Tyreek is taking it too far, and I think he might be an agent. But we have to delineate from like Africans were colonized when we were enslaved. So, and we're different people. So, Africans are more docile people. I mean, think about in the 60s how the Black Panthers would have stormed on that compound and just like, what's going on here? With guns and stuff. Africans just take it. So I think that. They have a lot to, because how you have a whole continent of 50 countries and you just let the white Europeans just come over there and just do whatever they want.
Probably because they didn't really have countries at that time. They were still tribal. You had tribal leaders and stuff, and they were still fighting with each other just like everybody else around the world. So it was kind of like sliding here, like like the Navajo, the same way they did the Indians, how they slid in on them. It's like, yeah, we come here in peace or whatever, we're gonna be cool with y'all and stuff. Y'all don't like them, right? All right, let's get together and fuck them up. We're gonna take them people though, we're gonna take them. What else, we eventually gonna come back for y'all too a little bit later, but we ain't gonna tell y'all that right now. We're just gonna let y'all wait on that. Y'all will figure that out in a little while. I think that's how that went. I don't think it was like a united front to fight.
Yeah,
that shit.
and even Napoleon Bonaparte said history is a bunch of lies. The victors of war have agreed upon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Salute Armchair Revolutionary. What's good, bro?
What's good, man?
He hit that one on the head right there. No, let's finish this one out right here. I think
Go
this
ahead.
might be the last experiment. I think maybe.
This drug caused severe nausea and forced vomiting, while participants were shown graphic images of homosexual acts. In some cases, victims would vomit uncontrollably, sometimes even choking on their own vomit. This was designed to link feelings of nausea with same-sex attraction. Survivors of the Aversion Project reported enduring a range of psychological effects. Some victims experienced flashbacks, extreme anxiety, and depression. Reports suggest that a
Damn.
significant number of survivors suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, with some attempting suicide after their experiences. Estimates suggest
knew that
that
was gonna
hundreds of
happen.
people underwent these treatments.
Say it again.
I said I knew that was gonna happen. The self-deletion part. I'm like, yeah, they have to wait. There's like, yep. I knew that was gonna happen. They're like, oh,
Just picture
and they
somebody
jump off a
did-
building.
a group of
I'm like,
people
oh,
did this
shit.
shit to you, and you can't do nothing, and you can't get no recourse from this. They did this shit to you, and that's it. Now go
Yeah.
live your life. It's like shit. Some
Right.
people they gonna psych the fuck out. It's like what? Nobody trying to help you. Even I've seen people that actually done got help from being abused and stuff, and they still go do that shit because the mental toll on them is just so strong. Like everybody ain't built like that, man. Everybody ain't built to go through a whole bunch of shit and be resilient. Some people just check out. It's like I'm done.
Yeah.
I had this beef.
Yeah.
Suffered.
Oh, my bad. Hold on. Go ahead.
No, and real quick, I don't want to stop your video, but
No,
I
you
had a
good.
beef
Go
with
ahead.
a YouTuber. I would do live stream with anybody that's willing to have me on their show, and he was a small YouTuber claim he's a men's rights activist, right? Old white man, right? He had this live stream. It would be only once every 3 months, and it was all through about 2 years. I did on and off again every 3 to 6 months, do a live stream with this guy named Bill, right? And turns out this guy is a closeted white supremacist. And also, he's one of these crazy white folks that think that you're born a homosexual, all this type of nonsense. So we eventually would talk once every 3 months on the phone. We got each other's phone number. And then he said, oh, I have a acquaintance of mine who has he said mild autism. Turned out it was severe.
Okay.
I was living in North Carolina at the time. I'm living in Fayetteville. He's in Raleigh, the capital. It's only an hour drive away. I want to go see the fool. That friend of his one time in Raleigh, North Carolina. Dude is 45 years old, living with his mama, never had a job, and gets a little crazy check, and so mentally handicapped he doesn't even know how to have his own bank account, knows not even how to drive a car, and maybe, of course, never been with a chick or nothing like that. That's the whole thing. Yeah, that's all. So this guy, but this guy had an audacity, even though he's in this fucked up situation, he had the audacity to say Negroes are the dumbest people on the planet, then whites are the middle, and then Asians are the smartest. I'm like, dude, did you get that from a 90s sitcom or some stupid book? That don't even sound. I was in the military, dude, for 4 years. I saw Asians saw Asian flunk out of intelligence school and had to get reclass. I saw this whole thing of Asians are always smart is just a fabrication of 80s sitcoms and shit. It ain't reality. So
it's not. It's built off the systems that they set up and what they want to grade on. That's why a lot of kids in America are going through the American education system, the public one that they designed, and look at the result of these kids.
They're fucked up.
Johnny Rockefeller.
Johnny Rockefeller. Prussian School of Learning. Prussian School of Learning, basically.
Yeah.
And so then, let me get to the punchline here real quick. So so I feel like this guy's a mentally handicapped. I don't want to be friends with a white supremacist mental handicap guy, of course. Me being who I am. But I'm willing to reach out. You claim you're a men's rights activist, but you're really secretly closeted white supremacist, right? So didn't excommunicate the guy and didn't talk to him no more. He can't help me he ain't going nowhere. It's like a loser.
Yeah.
So then, and white boys be losers, and still the system props them up. So anyway, a year later, I hear that the leader, Bill, never met this guy in person, lives all the way up north. I live in the south. He says, oh, by the way, Warren, the guy I met, committed suicide. I think suicide is okay to say on YouTube. I think
you can say it. We already there.
Okay, he committed suicide by hanging his dumbass with a rope and shit. And I'm like, okay, damn. I guess he had a 22, but he was afraid. He had a big head and was skinny little body. So if he shot himself, it would have bounced around and he probably would suffer. So anyway, so then he committed suicide. So then I went on another. So Bill had a friend named Steve, also a live streamer. I went on his live stream and said, oh yeah, I met the guy that committed suicide one time. And even though he was fairly friendly to me, but the guy said these white supremacy ideologies and shit. And his autism had no excuse to excuse that type of. Even Forrest Gump, I know he's a fictional character, but for example, Forrest Gump wasn't a white supremacist. He was just a mentally slow guy that was in the military. Like, so he loved Bubba. So he never said, oh, Bubba's people are all silly and slow. So anyway, and then I also talk about, when I talk about, like, if I talk about African and put them down, I'm talking about the culture. I'm not talking about inherently they're stupid. I'm talking about the culture. Why would they just let people? They don't have a Nat Turner in Africa, basically. So anyway, then I said, like, then I said went on Steve's platform and did that. Bill watches Steve all the dang time. So Bill got butthurt and madder than a mug. He was 5 foot tall. He went madder than a mug. He made a 25-minute video about how I'm a piece of shit for talking about Warren, and Warren wasn't a racist. I'm like, ain't the definition of white supremacy or racism is saying that black people are stupider inherently? Isn't that the whole ideology? So I'm basically, the last 6 months, my channel has turned into, every time Bill goes on live, I shit on him and use facts to shit on him because he's an idiot. Like, you made a 25-minute, you made 2 videos that shit on me. One was 25 minutes, and you said my name explicitly. First, my first name Corey, and my name on my channel, Archer Revolutionary. Then one, he just threw shade at me. Another 25, 30-minute video, making all the excuses for Warren's stupid ass. When, yeah, okay, it was unfortunate he took his own life, but he said these crazy remarks.
Yeah, we ain't
before he
gotta
died.
lie on a person. That
Yeah.
I say this all the time, man, because people get offended when I say fuck the founding fathers. Like
Yeah, I
I
believe
have
that.
no respect for them. I
They're
have
not
no
our
respect for them.
fathers.
Yeah, I
They're
have
our
no.
enslavers. They came over here, threw a net on us, and made us work for free and didn't pay us back.
Yeah, so I'm all for saying that, and they like, oh, well, they did great things. They can do great things, and I can still call them out for who they were.
Yeah, I made a video a night ago about that.
Yeah, I know people that done robbed and stole, and they also done gave a homeless person $5. That $5 they saving grace for every other bad thing they did in their life.
Yeah,
Fuck
that's
no.
like it's like a mob boss, like for example, like Kingpin from Marvel or Tony Soprano, giving to charity after all his money's come from selling drugs, prostitution, whatever.
Yeah, it's
It's
false
like-
equivalence, man. It's
Mhm.
false equivalence, man. It doesn't; those don't equate to each other. Just because this evil person who was evil majority of their life did maybe 1 or 2 or 3 good things, that does not take away the evil that they did.
No, it doesn't take away from it.
But some people want you to believe that. They
Oh no,
want you to believe that.
the example I made on my video last night, I couldn't say that. I said the JE Dubs. I was going to say they have this event from 80 years ago that they say that they won't let go. And I'm like, well, black people were enslaved in this continent for 2 centuries, and then Jim Crow after that, and were never paid back. But yet they can have museums and they can have scholarships because of one event that happened only for 5 years in a different country. So that's the example I made last night. Oh, no, it was
Yeah,
a night ago.
Yeah, I think it was a good example, man. I think it was a good example, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about this shit in a second. Here you go. We're gonna finish this last little bit off right here. This last, I don't even think it's like fucking 10 seconds.
From post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, with some attempting suicide after their experiences. Estimates suggest that hundreds of people underwent these treatments, but exact numbers are hard to determine. If you want to discuss this video,
Yeah, look, yeah, that was it. That was the end of that shit, man. Look, that's some sick ass shit right there, man. That's some sick ass shit. And you right, my boy Jive. Look, and Revolutionary said it a second ago. History is told by the victors, and people need to really truly understand that. You gotta go. There are books that people have written because, like, people like Abraham Lincoln, they hype him up like he was just a great man. He had a diary. I hope people know that. Or a journal, you know, he don't say a journal because he was a man. It's like, yeah, he told you how he felt about things. He told you how you felt about things, and they want you to sit around and honor that man because you know he signed the Emancipation Proclamation. That man didn't give no fuck. He look, go read his journal. He'll tell you he didn't give a fuck. All he was worried about was, yeah. All he said he wanted to form a perfect union. Dude, they were still fighting with other folks. They still had to deal with the French. They still had to deal with the Brits. They had already committed treason against the Brits. Bro, they couldn't be fighting each other. They were going to lose land. They still fighting the Native Americans. They still fighting the Mexicans that's in this country. They still fighting all these folks. They got war all around them.
Well,
They
the
can't be-
South got their rifles from at the time. They got their rifles from the French for the Civil War because the large French population in Louisiana, for example. So the French sympathized with the South because of the large French population in Louisiana. So they got their weapons from the French.
Yeah.
The South didn't have industry to make the weapons.
They
That's
didn't
part of
have
the reason they
nothing but-
lost. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't
Only
have nothing.
plantations.
Yeah, they had agriculture. They had agriculture with free labor. They didn't really have. They didn't have technology. That wasn't their type of thing. But I just don't. I don't get it, man. Shout out to my boy Reality Job. He said only the victors tell it. He said not slaves. He say on this atmosphere, I got you. My girl Miss Alexis from Texas in the building. She said howdy to everybody on the panel. Venom Black put 100 on there, and he said on this hemispheres. I got you. Fucking well, some of the same guys. You kind of actually helped out with alluding to my next video that I was actually going to play because this was hilarious. And you said this guy, he was 45 years old, living in his mom's basement, never had a job, never had a girlfriend, none of that stuff. Those people are actually becoming a problem in American society right now because we got a lot of people that are deciding to put a microphone. Anybody can get a camera and put a microphone in front of their face, but what's coming out of their mouth is what really matters. And we got a lot of those type of guys that are really kind of starting to garner followers, and people are actually believing in what they're talking about. And I'm gonna show you one of them. I know y'all probably know this guy's name. He goes by the name of Nick Fuentes. I want y'all to see something right here. And shout out to Antonio. Is this on Antonio Talks? Yeah, this on Antonio Talks, man. Shout out to him for the video. He's kind of gonna break down a little bit of these, what we're actually seeing. And anytime y'all want me to stop, just open and say something, because it's gonna be a lot of things that are gonna be triggering in this video. I can guarantee you that, y'all. So let's go and jump into this.
So white supremacists, they are very funny to me. And to be honest, I feel sad for a lot of them. I love this picture right here, okay? The whining white man. It explains them perfectly. Many of these people love saying that black people play the victim card or we're always complaining. But to me, they have the biggest victim mentality ever. Now, one of the biggest talking points from these white supremacists is that the white population is dying and we need to do something about it. Now, I'm not gonna lie. This kind of might be true, but they are wrong about what's actually causing it. One of the biggest white supremacists that we all know is probably Nick Fuentes. I'll give him his props, man. He has a string.
And I don't get how he's considered a white. He can be part of the white nationalists. I know he can pass for white, but he's Hispanic.
So he's not actually a Spaniard. He's not actually a Spaniard.
Oh yeah, he ain't no Spaniard. He's from south of the border. Like his people from south of the border.
Yeah. But remember, even when I was in the military, there was a Mexican guy from Mexico City, looked like a chubby white guy in that blue eyes. Dude, so some of them have a lot lot of Spaniard blood, but they're not actually a Spaniard, you know.
Yeah, these people, man, they was mixing everywhere. They wasn't. I don't think a lot of it was voluntary, but you know, they was spreading that shit out around a lot of places.
Large and loyal fan base, and they pretty much all follow him up to a T. But just like him and pretty much most of these white supremacists, they are virgin incels that do not like women.
Women are the prime gatekeepers in our cucked world. Men follow their lead thinking it will get them laid. Like when Dean said you can't get a GF because of what you said. You can't say anything around women anymore. Yeah. The other day I said the word retarded and she looked at me like I said the N-word.
Fuck them. Honestly, I'm so sick of women. All the rules and you can't say this. And, you know, because it's like women are, they don't know anything. And I'm not talking about all women. Like the women that watch the show are really smart.
Nick, why do you think dating women is gay?
Well, here's what I think is gay. It is gay to date women.
Yeah.
Hold up. Y'all give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Which one? Yeah, we're just gonna go with that one.
Yeah, this shit crazy, bro. This shit wild. You saw this
shit? He literally said it's gay to date women.
Y'all ever seen Training Day?
Yeah.
You know the Mexican scene. You know the Mexican scene where the Mexican sicarios get the so you know it's a movie, right? So the white cop is honest, and Denzel sets him up to get bumped off, and the Mexicans say the most over the top homosexual phrase ever. You know, because they were in and out of prison all their lives because they're Mexican criminals in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, "Ever had your?" They ask him, "Ever had your shit pushed in?" And he's like, the white guy's like, "What? What are y'all talking about?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, I get love from the homies, and that's how they get down, man."
This shit is crazy.
Mexicans have no problem with that type of activity.
No, I've seen a lot of groups. I haven't seen any group to this day that is against it as much as black people are.
Like no, we're the last ones. American Negroes, we're the last ones that are like, no, we don't play.
We don't get down with that. We don't like now. Do we have them that do
down
it
like that? You know, like the only city that gets down like that ubiquitously, pretty much. Like other than that, like we don't get down like that. And we have people like Dr. Ray speaking out against it. We have people like Mr. Fuller speaking out against it. We have a lot of people that were speaking out against it.
It's a part of our culture to be against that in the grand scheme of things. Like when it comes down to it, I haven't been in one family where people are like, yeah, just go do it. It's like, nah, they're like, nah, you ain't gonna do that. And when you have somewhere like it happens and it's like, look, that's still my child. I'm gonna love them, but I disagree with what they do. But we don't be promoting that shit like that. Well, now we got people getting money from other folks promoting it and trying to make it seem like that's a thing. But that we ain't on that type of time like that. I'm gonna keep going. Let's see. I don't know what Nick's talking about. Is gay to like women or whatever? Okay, then what is it? Be a man on man action.
The only way I can see that what he's trying to say, and he didn't phrase it correctly, I think he's saying that like the overtop simping and caking that's going on, maybe he's saying that's gay. Or she
like, I ain't even finna give him the benefit of the doubt. You nicer than me. You nicer than me. I hope this is let's see where he go.
Enough said. So this is only the tip of the iceberg of how this Nick Fuentes dude feels about women. It's so ironic because all they have to do to save their white race, their precious white race, is find a white woman and procreate with her. But no, you see, people like Nick Fuentes, they hop online, claim women are this, claim women are that. They hate women. They don't like them. And they just get so shocked when they see that white people aren't having as much kids.
I care about the country. That's why I talk about white genocide. Because that is what is happening in the country. Nothing else matters. People talk about
well, I think what Antonio's trying to say is that you're genociding yourself. And then everybody know Nick gay anyways. Like, I don't even know why. Like, Nick is actually like legit gay. He ain't he be talking about women gay. He like men. I don't like women. I like men. That's what he like.
Like Joe Rogan, they pretend to be straight, but they actually
they like to get bent over every now and then.
Housing prices, dude. Fuck housing prices. Our race is dying. Okay, I don't care if houses cost $1 million. It would be worth it if we lived in a white country. We are living in Africa. Damn. We are living in Mexico. We are living in a Middle Eastern bazaar. We are living in India.
Okay, but
and people go, gee, I think it's the housing prices. I think it's because the Thanksgiving turkey is up 10%. That's not the problem. People say it's because of the housing prices and Gamergate or whatever. We need libs of TikTok in the White House. We need libs of TikTok on steroids. Dude, our race is being genocided. It's over.
You could literally make a change by finding a woman, having kids. Boom. You could literally tell all your followers this. But no, we've seen the clips of how he speak on women, how they speak on women. So it's like, it's not rocket science. I swear, these dudes claim to have such a high IQ, but are very dumb at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
White people are being shamed and guilted. We are being beat up and murdered in the streets.
Oh my!
They want us gone.
Oh my God, bro! What, the victim card? God damn! Pull yourself up by your boot. God, you're a white man living in America complaining about getting. Oh my goodness! I'm so sick of this victim mentality, y'all. Like these.
They want us to kill ourselves because we did the Holocaust. They're telling us in school, you're racist. You did the Holocaust. You're a piece of shit.
You know the funny thing about what he's saying? No, all of his history is actually watered down. Things get really worse than what they tell you in school. Like, I hate even bringing up slavery because that's pretty much all they teach in school about black folks. But let's talk about slavery. They really don't even go into details of how bad it really was. They literally used to eat us. There are cookbooks. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really find this stuff on the actual surface of the internet. But when you look into, there are lots of books. There are lots of, like, it's backed up. They used to literally eat people. Even the transatlantic slave trade, it changed the pattern of the ocean. Like, sharks would literally follow because they were seeing that, oh, all these bodies are getting dropped over the sea. This is just free food. So like, their patterns literally changed because of slavery. But they also don't talk about how King Leopold II killed 3 times as many Africans, 15 million, but he is nowhere mentioned. Bro, they watered down how bad y'all really were. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't like to take accountability. Like, they love to glorify Rome and all this other bullshit. But when it comes to actually confronting of what y'all really do, oh, why are you bringing up the past? We don't claim that, but y'all want to claim Rome, though. You know what I'm saying? You're mighty and proud for shit like Rome, but when the actual other dirt is brung up, oh, nah.
Now you're going to commit suicide as a civilization. And someone like myself gets up and says, you know what? Fuck you. Someone like me gets up and says, you know what, Jew, go back to fucking Israel.
Bro, these folks, like I said, love black.
I don't even know why they... Bro. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. I'll let you take it, man. You take it, damn.
Yo, all I want to say is I'm tired of looking at that nigga JFK headpiece. That nigga got the JFK headpiece.
Bro, that boy got a toupee at an early age. He been hanging around with Tim, whatever that boy is, that motherfucker who always wear a beanie on his head because he balding and shit. Damn,
Oh, you're not Tim Pool, nigga?
Yeah, that guy right there. Yeah, Tim Pool. He been hanging around him. We know that shit ain't real, Nick. But it's crazy to me, man. I'm like, dude, he really is over here crying, and that's something that I've noticed they do a lot, bro. They project the things that when somebody like tries to attack me and call me a name and stuff, I really try to sit back for a second and think, what am I doing to make them call me that? And when I think about it, I'm like, fuck, I don't do that shit. But then I start thinking about what do they do? Bitch, that's you. You trying to project your insecurities and all your shit onto me because you feel some type of way. You feel some type of way about who you are and where you are in life that you got to project it on the other people to make yourself feel better. Like, bro, that the same people calling people snowflakes are these snowflakes. You can just look at it right now. Let me get on the internet and say something bad about Trump. They're going to start crying. Fuck you. What's wrong with you? I thought we were for freedom of speech around here. But I guess that shit go out the window when your feelings get hurt. Either way, though, I'm gonna let them keep going, man. This shit, dude, tripping, man.
Blaming their problems on everyone else. And I want to bring this up too. I seen some fucking raccoon on Instagram. It was like, hey man, it's not the white people. If the blacks and the whites come together and take down the Jews, like I'm like, nigga, sit your goofy ass down. I'm not trying to sound harsh, but I view.
Oh yeah, that point right there. Dude, you can be a black Jew, you can be an Arab Jew. This is a religion. All them people that's telling you that's a bloodline is crap. It's all cap. Those are white Europeans over there doing all that fucked up shit to the Palestinians. Those are white Europeans. They're trying to separate themselves from other white people. And the main reason they're doing that because them bitches got so much power. Look what they got your president doing right now.
I read a book 10 years ago called, and I don't know how true this is, but it was called The Synagogue of Satan. And it said that they come from basically Hungary. So they're basically Yiddish. They come from Hungary. They're white people. So they have just like the white man in America has an entitlement to the land. They don't have entitlement to that land.
None whatsoever. They don't come from there. People over here.
You know how many people are not going to read their book though because of the name.
Yeah, right.
You know how many people did listen to 3 6 Mafia because of the name.
Well, I have it on.
But we got to read that book. Got to read it.
There's another book called Hitler's War, and that English historian, he was banned from, I think he's banned for Germany from life because he said that that event that happened in World War II was exaggerated. So,
oh yeah, they've been saying that for some years now. They keep saying that. That didn't really happen. The numbers aren't really what they are.
So is the numbers higher or lower?
That's the real question. Hey, look, from what we watched earlier in this video, when it came down to actually keeping account on the numbers, I'm pretty sure the numbers were higher.
Higher.
But let them tell it. Let them tell it. It was low, but they're just exaggerating. They're exaggerating. They're playing victim again. That's what that's what type of time it seems like they're on right now, man. But I'm gonna let them keep talking because these folks, I ain't gonna lie, I'm it's getting a little old now.
Whatever, Jews, white people, all in the same boat. Like they white.
Oh, with that attitude. You know what? With these black people, why don't you pull up your pants, learn how to act with some decorum, put the phone off of speakerphone.
Let's hear him say it again. Black people. Let you know they just hate everything, bro. They're gonna say it one more time, Nick. Look at that face right there. He know he saying it so stern. Say it one more time, Nick.
Whatever, Jews, white people, all in the same boat. Like they white.
Oh, with that attitude. You know what? With these black people, why don't you pull up your pants, learn how to act with some decorum, put the phone off of speakerphone.
Those things right there are ruining. That's the black people sagging their pants. What else did he say? What else did he think? I think this is gonna help black people if we did this.
The Boondock GTA radio, bro.
I swear, oh Lord, bro, he sounded like it.
Why don't you pull up your pants, learn how to act with some decorum, put the phone off of speakerphone.
Okay, he said 3 things: pull your pants up, learn how to act with some decorum, and then I guess he gave an example of act with decorum with take the phone off speakerphone. First off, I know a lot of white dudes that sag their pants, and I'm not saying I'm for it. I think people need to pull their pants up, period. But
I can't control
Right,
everybody.
right. Because how the fuck you go run from the police or a dog? Like, nigga, put your pants up. Nigga.
Yeah, no, you ain't going. You got a better chance if you got them up, man, and have a belt.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
If I act with decorum, man, I can show you video after video after video. White people not acting with decorum. Shit, you got a president right now that don't act with decorum. So who the fuck are you to be talking to black folks? Take the phone off speakerphone, bitch. We have been in every shopping center, every store, every mall, and somebody having a conversation. I done been in a library and seen people of every race have a conversation on speakerphone. Like, chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
That's not the reason for your so-called genocide. I think the reason for your so-called genocide that you're talking about is because y'all ain't getting no pussy. That's all that is. That's what you need to figure out. You need to stop trying. Go ahead.
If we acted like every Hispanic person was Tony Montana, he wouldn't like if we act like that, or they're Smiley from Training Day.
Yeah, he wouldn't like that. He wouldn't like that at all.
Weirdos, and they're doing drive-bys on their own people in the barrio, right? Just like, it's like called the Pareto principle, where you break a demographic into 20%, slices that equal 5. So every race has a bottom 20%, every single race. And what's the excuse of white people? So I'm talking about the full-on Europeans that live in America, the French Cajuns, the Scott Irish, the Germans, the Irish, and then another thing white people, they always tell you what European lineage they are, and without even asking. And I know, like, I don't give a shit where you from, fool, but they always tell you. And what about them when I just met 2 white boys in the park when I ride my bike, and both of them had felonies. And I'm like, how y'all only like 20 years old? How, if I went and did some type of felonious act, I would be locked up under the prison and wouldn't be getting out until 2030s. So, I mean, the white people have the carte blanche to do whatever they want, and their bottom 20% are not even punished as harshly as our bottom 20%.
Look, they like to say that 13% of the population commits 50% of the crimes. They don't even take into account that, first off, that was from 2019, and that was just talked about arrest. And Antonio speaks on that a lot. But also, black people make up the most exonerations of every group by large. So it's like, so you're locking up a lot of black people, you're arresting a lot of black people, but half of them at the bare minimum are getting exonerated. Like, we don't want to compare crimes. We kind of just went through a few crimes in the first 2 videos. And I would love to see somebody put together a video of black folks committing that many amount of crimes. Because those were atrocities against humanity. I want to see some of the ones that level up to that. But, dude, they got to cry to somebody, man. They can't get no pussy, man. So they mad. Man, you ever seen some? Well, you seeing it right now. But this is what it looks like when a dude frustrated ain't bust a nut in a while. His hand just don't do it for him no more. This motherfucker mad, bro.
I think he a Men in Black alien, bro. He's a Men in Black alien, dog.
Hey, look, he could be.
Dude got an alien living in that hairpiece, bro. It's an alien in that hairpiece, dog. I don't know what it is.
Somebody with instruction.
Stop shooting up schools. Stop beating your fucking wives. And we can, okay? You know what I'm saying? It could be simple. Stop looking up child content. It's simple, right?
We're coming up to these people and saying, hey, this is our country. Everybody's going to behave now. And they wonder why people like me. They wonder why people support me. They wonder why they go for me and they don't go for, whatever that was at the convention, whatever is going on in MAGA world where they want 50-year mortgages and they want to bomb Iran and they want to have H-1B visas and the Epstein files are going to be buried under the White House. They wonder why. They say, gee, it must be housing. Gee, it must be because the left bullied white people.
Dude is a clown, man. Like I say, if they want to fix all their race dying issues, just have kids. I'm off of Nick, man. Like I say, I feel sorry for these dudes really at the end of the day. Let's talk about another white supremacist that I featured in one of my videos. His name is Woman Propaganda, a very large Instagram.
Y'all seen this guy right here? You ever seen this guy before?
Never seen him a day before my life.
Dude,
wait a minute. Like, his name is Woman Propaganda?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I've never seen this guy before.
Yeah, look, y'all gonna get to see a little bit of him. He actually linked up with the lady that likes to say nigga out loud and shit. He likes to say it too. And he's just a walk around racist, but he's trying.
Get that nigga that card, darling. Who gave Quentin Tarantino that pass too? We gotta ask that nigga that question too.
Yeah, everybody talking about I got to pass. This motherfucker, he ain't never said he got to pass. He just said because he won't.
Tarantino is a blatant white supremacist. Like he only made Django to take the black dollar, and it wasn't even that. It's just it's a revenge fantasy that didn't earn it. Same thing with my opinion on the movie Sinners. You have to the movie Rosewood. It earned when the white people got dealt with. They earned it through the film. Movies that don't earn it, like Django and Sinners, they don't earn it because they're either characters are chasing white women or it's just Django is just such a goofy over top.
You ain't
movie.
like Sinners? You ain't like Sinners?
No, couldn't stand it.
What? Man, that was a
Hated
good movie, man. Sinners was a really good movie, man. It was directed by a black dude, lead actor.
But he ain't really on code because you have the one of your main protagonists, he's chasing or white girl is pursuing him and he's not resisting it. In Jim Crow South,
he did resist it. He told her to get the hell out of there like 4 times in the movie. You didn't see that? He was like, man, don't come to my club and all that. No, don't talk to me, girl. And the main protagonist was
her in the bag.
Yeah, he ended up smashing. Man, look, you get a little lick in your system, you gonna smash something, especially if it's something you done smashed before. Man, you got a girl that you done been with before pressing up on you, and you've been drinking a little bit, and you've been smoking all day. You gonna hit that. You gonna hit that.
That's true. That's true.
And then he got bit too. But then think about it. The other character he played, his twin brother, was with a black woman. But I like the movie. I ain't gonna argue on it, damn it. Everybody,
but one
everybody
thing
like
even the white supremacists said they could have got a prettier black woman to play her because even
they just hating. They just hating. Man, these motherfuckers had Barbara Streisand still doing shit. Man, you see what that motherfucker look like? They got Megyn Kelly walking around here still doing shit. What's that other one? What's that one that Ann Coulter walking around here looking like a walking zombie?
Yeah, now Hannah Coulter, she always looked ate up.
She was always fucked up. She was always fucked
and
up.
I heard it. Now I don't necessarily believe this, but I heard this conspiracy that Megyn Kelly is secretly Nicole Simpson, that got done in by
overdosed?
OJ.
I heard about that too. I never went down that rabbit hole though. I never went down that rabbit hole.
It was the guy that Industry Hoax. He made a video and he matched up their faces. I don't know if he could. All I know, he could have edited the images, but he matched up their ears and matched up their noses, and they're very similar. But who knows? I don't know. When something like that, I'm like, I can't make a decision because
I stand back on that one. I'm like, people got too much time on their hands. If it is, it ain't my problem right now. Either way, let's keep going. Y'all about to find out about woman propaganda because this is him trolling girls and trolling black people. Look, he has 1.4 million followers on Instagram. So think about that. Think about that.
How the real creative. He got exposed bad, really bad, a couple of days ago. But let me show you an example of the type of videos he makes.
Until white people stop being scared of getting called racist, we're not going to take our country back. This is why I want to normalize saying nigga, even saying nig.
Oh shit. Are you ever worried about?
And see, that's the crazy part. Take it back from who? That's the question I always have for him. Take it back from who?
It's like even the movie. I don't know if y'all ever seen the movie Gangs in New York, where the guy, I think he's an English descent guy in the film, and he's in his 1840s, and he's mad at the Irish coming over here to America, but your own government is letting them in. Whether European foreigners, other type of foreigners, the government's letting them in. If it wasn't for the government letting them in, they wouldn't get in. So who's he mad? Who should he be mad at? Really, at the end of the day.
Yeah, go talk to your people, bro. Go talk to your people about that. It's just like for real.
Like getting jumped for the content that you do because like you've said the N-word multiple times and like your whole face is out there like saying the N-word with the hard R. Are you worried that people are going to come up to you and like threaten you?
Black people are violent, so it is a risk for sure.
Don't you think it's fair that they're violent though?
Now remember that he said black people violent because y'all gonna see something in a second.
Like saying the N-word like with your chest out on the internet?
No, you have no right to be violent over some words. Fuck you.
Now I can't even show what actually happened to this dude, but I'm gonna show them.
But he don't know the history of his country because we just talked about how they went over there and messed up them Iraqis and Afghanians and all these other different countries for saying something. Name one time these people came to America. I'm just wondering. Name one time any of these other countries that came to America and fought besides their own folks that came from the UK. But y'all all up in their countries fucking with them. I think y'all was over there over some words and some resources. Your name can't dismiss the resources. I get that. But like, bro, like they saying death to America. Go, we need to go kill them. Like, bro, that's y'all average talking point, bro. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Moments leading up, and then I'm gonna like blur out the actual moment.
Yeah,
Borders are racist, huh? Let's let everybody in. Borders are racist. Let everybody in. I don't care. Let everybody in.
Didn't Nick say earlier that the black people need to get some decorum, but he outside while it's raining, just yelling like downtown, some downtown major city, just yelling, talking about borders are racist. Well, you need to get some decorum. Bro. You need to get some damn decorum. What's going on around here? And guess who's gonna show up too after this? Nick Fuentes.
Borders are racist, guys. Flood the country. 10 million Indians. Come on. The border. What are you talking about? Do you think borders are racist? You invited him to your fucking club.
Look, y'all, look.
Whoa.
Okay, walk away. Walk away. Walk away. I had to blur it, but he motherfucking pimp slapped his ass, y'all. You feel me? Penguin right here. This is this penguin.
I just got punched in the face by the. Oh, hi. Oh, really?
And went instantly to the line. You got slapped in the face. But it wasn't no black person that put their hands on him. It was one of his own folks. But watch who shows up.
I got punched in the face by this guy. Well,
Hey, he went to go tell the teacher.
This Jewish guy was yelling, everyone's a Nazi, and then I told him to go back to Israel. And then this other guy just slapped me across. Kevin Smith.
Good old Sneeko and Nick Fuentes.
Hey, the nigga Nick not even listening to him, bro. This is so bad. I feel bad for bro. The nigga Nick said, that's crazy, bro. And then turned and talked to the other dude. Oh, you can't make this shit up, y'all.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, nice to meet you. What's going on? Good to meet you.
Are you okay? I literally just got my shit reset. Fuck, he hit me hard.
That guy's from IR. I don't know
what you doing here. He hit me.
I was just hanging out.
Not even listening.
That's crazy.
Maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah. Why don't we
Now, this dude has pretty much lost all his credibility, man. If you go on Instagram right now, under every single video, they're just like, well, your videos don't hit the same anymore. Like, you done lost your aura. Like, it's just, he lost all his credibility. And guess what? He also linked up with another white supremacist, but a woman.
The young white man, you are truly alone.
Y'all remember her right here?
No, I don't know. Who's that?
Who's that?
Yeah, I think hopefully I'm right about this. She's that swimmer girl that the Republican Party tried to use when they were trying to let the transgenders into women's sports. She was that swimmer girl who never won nothing. They used her as the face of, we need to keep transgenders out. And then she just came out of the blue, just started saying nigga. She likes to say nigga a lot.
Save it for the bedroom, bitch. What the fuck?
And she was doing that tread. She was doing that tread wife stuff. One of them tread wife ones, telling women to get in there and cook and clean and all this stuff. And then you find out she's a baby mama. And I think her baby dad is black or some shit like that. It's kind of crazy. It's a whole fucked up situation.
There's a whole Jerry Springer scenario.
Yeah, it's like a mind fuck, man.
And she looks trans to me.
Yeah, she
She like 7 foot. 7'8".
Maybe she got a and then the baby was adopted any damn way. It's all
Hey,
fake.
look,
It's all just jokes, y'all. These all just jokes. All just jokes.
I need to get that clip of that one dude. Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Something ain't right.
Let's keep going on. This shit funny, man.
All the young white guys need to team up because
we already starting off with the victim card. These motherfuckers have a victim mentality. God damn, whining white man. Shit, we tired of hearing about it, bro. We understand y'all got a hard life. You can't take the sun and shit, whatever. Damn, get past it, bro. Fuck out of here.
It is us against the world. Everyone hates us. You guys need to wake up to that
Nobody
fact and
hates
become
y'all.
racist.
Nobody hates y'all. I'm gonna let the video play. I'm gonna stop pausing, y'all. I'm gonna stop pausing. I'm gonna just let it play through.
And we need to take charge.
And by the way, don't buy into this propaganda that, oh, white girls are just whores. Let's go to fucking Colombia and get a cheap hooker.
Yeah.
This passport bro bullshit, that's as Jewish.
I'm gonna just say this, by the way, she has a biracial child. Well, I heard that, by the way. I'm not sure if it's true, but I believe she has a biracial child. So, you know, she likes bouncing
Question:
on black
is
nigga
that
lane.
real? Like, did they
You know what I'm
actually
saying? She probably
fucking
was
do
in
that?
Say it again.
Like, did they actually sit there and just like actually say that? Because it seemed scripted, but you know, but at the same time, it's like, did they actually do that shit?
Get it.
It's unbelievable to me. It's just like fucking unbelievable. This is blowing my mind right now.
It's like the audacity, but you know, we're gonna let them keep going.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
This shit funny to me. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I know, right?
Who knows? I don't know if it's true, by the way. I'm just say that.
Jewish as fuck. That's a Jewish psyop to make you have mongrel babies.
If you're non-white, if I was non-white and
I know I said I'm not gonna pause, but I have to, like, she's not even a real blonde, and I don't even know if she's a real. She maybe got contacts in. So.
And I wasn't in this battle like I am. If I was a black dude, I would be a passport bro.
Yeah.
For non-whites, I get it. Because you can go to a third world country and get a much hotter girl. You just can't. As an American with like more money, you can pull something way better in a third world country. But she's going to be brown. But if you're a black dude or if you're a brown dude, you know, that's fine. Yeah, no, if I was non-white, I think I would be a passport bro. But if you're white, we're going to have to wife up these hoes. You're going to have to suck it up and wife up one of these American white girls. And but it'll be
your
okay.
race matters. That
how can she sit?
Wait a minute, like, did he just diss the white bitches too? What the fuck?
How, he called them hoes first. These white whores, and then he said these white women to let you know who he was talking about. And she's sitting here just like, I'm gonna let him say
I
it
see why you
again.
said
Like,
this was funny.
bruh,
I see why you said this was funny.
yeah, it's crazy because I'm like, this is logical to them. This makes sense.
So.
And I wasn't in this battle like I am. If I was a black dude, I would be a passport bro.
Yeah.
For non-whites, I get it. Because you can go to a third world country and get a much hotter girl. You just can't. As an American with like more money, you can pull something way better in a third world country. But she's going to be brown. But if you're a black dude or if you're a brown dude, you know, that's fine. Yeah, no, if I was non-white, I think I would be a passport bro. But if you're white, we're going to have to wife up these hoes. You're going to have to suck it up and wife up one of these American white girls and
call them hoes.
But it'll be
your
okay.
race matters that much. Like, your race in 10 generations.
So she justifying white women being hoes, and your race matters. That's why your race matters more than if they're a hoe.
Your line will have continued, and nobody will care that your great-great-grandmother was a hoe because you exist and you're more white people. The white race must be preserved at all.
Man, bro, like I said, y'all sit here and was talking about, oh, women are this. We don't need to talk to women. Now they're telling you to wife up the hoes. Oh my goodness. This is a very weird time. This video is real, by the way. You would think it's satire deep. They are dead serious. And the dude, I was about to say, brother, my goodness. The dude on the right is like, just like Nick Fuentes. Do you have a white girlfriend? Do you have a white wife? Do you have white children? That's two of y'all. Y'all can create some kids. As many as y'all want to. You know what I'm saying? Shit. And I don't understand white women that are under white supremacy because y'all are going to be treated like shit. You see, oh my goodness, bro. They talk about having low IQs, but
causes. And by the way, girls become hoes when they don't have a guy putting them in line. So if like most girls will take on the mindset of the guy that they're dating. So if you're conservative, I'm not saying go out.
She's a fucking pick me. She's trying, like, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, that is true though. A woman will align to what more of the man's ideology. So I guess that she is, but it's like she's come off as very pick me. Because like I say, I heard she has a black, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if she's married to a white man. I'm not in all their business, so I don't know. So you can
ain't no ring on her finger.
Get some radical, insane liberal. Like, that's beyond the pale. But most girls will kind of meld into who you are. And if you just put them in their place, it'll be fine.
This is crazy. She is on some, damn, you really want to be picked. How about you talk to? I bet she won't even talk to him though. She won't talk. She ain't gonna talk to bro right here though.
You got it. We're gonna have.
Race.
Well, and again, and circling back, this is why I disagree with these pastors telling all these young men to wait till they're married, because none of the girls are virgins. Being a virgin man marrying a non-virgin woman is a terrible idea. You have no idea what you're getting. She's going to be able to just totally control you. You have no idea what you're getting into. So I do not, in America in 2025, I do not recommend waiting till marriage. As a man, if you're a woman, try and stay pure. But as a man, none of the girls in this country.
But they're all Christians. They're white Christian nationalists.
But they all Christians.
Yeah.
You're virgins. You're not going to find a virgin wife.
Hey, look though. I hate the comparison of men and women. Like, a man can be out here doing this thing and a girl can't. I think both shouldn't be doing it. That's my opinion. As a man, what you'll notice is, bro, if you like a very, I'm trying to fuck this, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. Down the line, bro, you're just chasing something that is like, you're never going to be fulfilled. The greatest thing a man can do, especially all my young brothers, man, if you can control your emotions, control your gut, and control your fucking Johnny.
All right, man. We done with that shit, man. These people crazy, man. We doing final thoughts, man. Look, Hurricane, you started out and let Revolutionary get in there, man. Show them how to do it. I gotta take a piss. This is crazy.
Shout out to everybody. The final thoughts. We was talking about the history of all the genocide that the military was doing all across the world and shit. And man, we was going through some wild shit. The San Jose experiment, Tuskegee experiment, the UK Death Island, the Nazi twin experiment, the Unit 731. I'm like, this shit was fucking wild. And plus, like, they ain't talk about the motherfucking Panama and the Contra shit. You know what I'm saying? But shit, man. But the final thoughts, it was shit, a great history lesson. Then it made me want to go back in time and motherfucker look up some more shit. But yeah. And as for the Nick Fuentes guy, fuck him. And for this last guy with this mustache, dog, that shit should be outlawed. This guy should be outlawed. This motherfucker shouldn't speak.
I agree with you, man. I agree. Revolutionary, real quick, get in there. Give me some final thoughts real quick. Let them know where to find you.
That was what. Okay, yeah. YouTube is onto Revolutionary. But yeah, that dude, he was embarrassing. He said he's trying to advocate white folks and that women propaganda dude. That dude was embarrassment. He needed to do the same thing Warren did, basically. He basically needed to go ahead and end it. You're 5'7", you got bitch slapped by another white man and took it. You didn't. I probably would have been locked up that night because instantly dude slapped me. I'm instantly punch him in the right hook to the face, right? Like, come on. And you supposed to be a white man. You're supposed to stand up for white people, and just white people. So all white mans do is his number one tool is lies, and then it's just his mouth in general. I'm talking about, but it's just sad and pathetic that he's an embarrassment to his own people. To even then he's with the white guys call it when a white girl's into black guys, white guys call it a mud shark.
Mm-hmm.
So he's with basically white guys are gonna say you're hanging with the mud shark, dude.
Yep. Don't even make sense. Do it.
Don't even make sense. But I know it's with Negroes. Like I've ranted before on like the Negroes on YouTube that are silly and sorry, like Stevie Knight. Like, okay, he has one that's like she's like a 5 out of 10, and she's like full of plastic surgery from Russia, hooker. But it's like most coons that like white girls, they get the ugly ones. They don't get the hot ones. They go get the fat, ugly ones. My younger brother included. They go get the fat, ugly ones. They don't get the hot ones.
Hey, yo, my younger brother included too. And plus, it's an added one. They always got some type of addiction problem. I'm like, God damn it, nigga.
Hey,
Why you trying to sell to the
bitch? Look, you got to call it how you see it, man. Like, you got to call it how you see it, man. Tonight,
allegedly.
Allegedly. And look, tonight was a very interesting one, man. I wanted to go longer, but I gotta get it within this 2 hour limit. Fucking
Yup.
Like, man, I just want y'all to really pay attention to that first part, man. It's a lot of atrocities that happen on this planet, and don't let people try to side eye you and tell you all this dumb shit. It's a lot of them that are loud right now, and they got followings. Don't pay attention to them. They don't know what the fuck they talking about. They need to fix their own shit. But as usual, man, appreciate all y'all that tuned in. Hit that like, subscribe, share, turn notifications on, all that in the bag of chips. Whether you watch on Let's Talk with JVJ on Facebook, JVJ Network on YouTube, or Let's Talk with JVJ on YouTube too. Fucking, whatever the fuck. But we gonna get the fuck out of here, man. Catch y'all on the next one. As always, man. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Don't tell me about me. Stop telling 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 me about me. I don't need you to tell me about me.